Hi guys, this is Frank with Tiny Plastic Spaceman, and today we're going to be reviewing and unboxing for you the Macromat, making your images larger than life. So what is the Macromat? This was a recently completed Kickstarter that I received, just haven't had time to film anything about it, but basically it is this. It's a set of these rubberized, basically just thin mouse pad material with a cool little collapsible rack that holds the backgrounds in place, so you can get pictures that look kind of like this. So yeah, it says photography backdrops for photographing, collectibles, hobby miniatures, and small works of art. This was written, well, it was sold and marketed basically to hobby people, painters and figure painters and wargamers and stuff like that, people like me. But I love that it's got these graphics that, well, I don't want to say no respectable wargamer would be involved with, but you know, it's it has to appeal to a lot of things, so a lot of people. So I just thought it was interesting. So it's like a faux Fabergé egg type of thing there, or just, you know, one of these Victorian things. But basically, you get something that is like this. So I am going to reset the camera and be back in just a minute so I can unbox and show all of this. Okay, so here we are, we're back. All I've done is just raise the camera a bit so you can see more of what's happening here. And it might sound a little bit different, but you should be able to hear me just fine. So basically, these Macromats come from the same people that bring us the Fat Mats. So if you're familiar with them, the neoprene mousepad material type stuff, you'll be pretty familiar with what this is like. So there we go. Macromats developed by Tablewar Design. Okay, so you have a cool little thing here. So this is great for if you're going to, say, a convention or a game show or a tournament to get pictures of people's armies and things like that. So obviously I'm just going to be using this at home basically. So you have two sewn-in pockets here on one side. Try not to speak over the crinkly plastic, sorry about that. On one side you have the actual pads, the mouse pad backdrops. I was lying earlier, it's not really 2mm material, it's more like 1mm material. I plumped for the 3 backdrop set, so that's why there's quite a lot in there. I'll just show you these real quick and then show you the sort of the actual stuff that holds it all up. So you have one that's a warm color. It photographs quite nicely actually, because I'm looking on the screen and there's a lot more red and orange on the screen than it is actually in person, so it's pretty interesting. And then here we go, we have the classic blue fading to white. So what you would do is have this side of the model up, or this side of backdrop here, place your model there and photograph it from this way. So you have like a, basically like a horizon sort of shot. It's quite nice. If you, you might think that, I noticed this first one playing video games for the first time, a long time ago I should say, the sky towards the horizon is a much lighter shade of blue than the sky directly above you. Just go out and look on a sunny day and you'll notice this. So that helps, you know, a nice calming sort of look to the backdrop. And here we go, this is a cooler sort of shade. The same sort of pattern as the red and orange. And on the screen, as I can see, there's a lot more blue than what I'm seeing in the actual photo. So I'm using daylight bulbs here in the little Tiny Plastic Spaceman studio. So it's quite an interesting effect, really. I don't know how that is working, but that's the color I see on the screen. So those are the backdrops, and you can order from the Kickstarter. You can order all three, which is obviously what I got, or just the blue, just the orange, or just the mottled blue. So now there's no instructions. I'll try not to talk over the plastic, but there's no instructions that come with this, which is not a huge negative, but it is something to. The first time you're putting this together, it gets a little interesting. So there you go. That's all the pieces. Now this piece, I'm going to find the opening. So there we go. So that's all the plastic out of the way now. So this piece is your base. This is actually steel, I believe, because it's quite heavy. These are very light, so I'm going to assume that they're aluminum or aluminium, depending on what you want. So you open out the feet like that, unclip these clips, which are sort of standard photography style clips that hold backdrops and things like that in place. They're meant to grip around a pole, like so. So they have these extra feet there. Right, so now this attaches. You see there's this little nub here that sticks into this hole, so it doesn't spin around. I think that's a pretty good idea. And I'm sure if you go on the Tablewar on the Macromat's Kickstarter page, you'll be able to see all of this in detail. But just trying to find, how's that attached there? Ah. So you have your thumb screw. And if you need that to raise up, obviously just like a tripod, you have a screw here. You can raise that up if you need. I'm just going to leave it down so that everything fits in the actual picture. Okay, and we're going to tighten this down so it doesn't swivel. And again, so that this pole isn't swiveling, this T-piece isn't swiveling very much anyway. And then what you can do, this is actually, I think this is an optional piece. You don't actually need that whole thing. This is so you have a double wide. There we go. So if you really need to, you can have, so if you're taking a picture of, like, say, an army, you can have, and you can buy cloth backdrops. You can just drape it over the backside and set up here, and basically where the paper or the material curves down, you actually place your models here on top of the paper or your fabric or your backdrop material. Okay, so that is for taking a super wide. That I didn't mean to do that right away, but let's get this removed so we can show you the normal size, suppose we can say. So you'll notice these are two different types of poles. They both have one closed end and these small holes, which obviously connect over here, right? These spring-loaded pieces. But this one has a big hole in the middle, and that one will go there. And again, you can raise this up as high as you need. Well, it probably goes about double height, I suppose. So let us, now you only need 2 of these clips. Now I will go ahead and just say that for the normal average Joe painter, you are not going to need this. I'll go ahead and readily admit that. I kind of overspent and got the full set when I didn't need to, but you know, it is just a cool thing to have for photographing. Why do I keep saying that? Photographing various things. So there we go. You see this nice smooth look here. It's a similar thing to what I've got in the background here. This is actually a curved piece of paper. It's not. There's no straight angle. You know, it doesn't come up like that. It actually curves up, so it looks like it's. I forget what the photographers call it, but and like an infinity wall type of thing, where just you don't see a corner. So it's the same sort of thing. And I'll take a couple of sample photos on this background so you can get an idea of what this is and how it's useful. So hopefully you found this informative. If you have, please give us a like. If you have any questions or anything, just feel free to ask down below. Remember to subscribe, please, if you enjoy this sort of thing. And check out all the other videos. We've got loads of unboxings and stuff like that. You can see links up here. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video. And please do let me know. And we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.